Hello guys, Kenji here at Life of Clay. In this sculpting video, I will be showing you the step-by-step procedure I made before I achieved this realistic Stag Beetle. This piece is just one of my collection under my Beetle series. So come on and let's begin. Aluminum foil is used for bulking, but you can also use this as the part of the sculpture on where you can hold it, without worrying damaging all the details that you made beforehand, and not wasting your time smoothing out all those fingerprints that you left during the sculpting process. I put markings on where the legs will going to be positioned and scoop them out using my loop wire carving tools. And in separate video tutorial, I will going to show you how I made these loop wire carving tools. And now we're adding the anal part of this insect. Now we're adding more details on the wing cases. I pre-bake the body so that I can manage to hold it and continue the sculpting process. And because we can hold the body of this sculpture now, we don't need this excess foil anymore, so we trim this off. This another thin sheet of clay is for the carapace of the thorax. And now we're making the head and adding details based on the reference. In aiming for a realistic look for your sculpture, you must observe every single details of the reference, either it is a live one or various images with different angles that you may be able to find in the internet. Adding the crown-like part of the head. These two sockets are for those mandibles. I use a hard bristle brush to add texture on the head and thorax. Scoop out the area where the eyes will going to sit. I pre-bake these tiny balls of polymer clay and I use them for the eyes of my insects of any sort. And gently pressing the eyeballs down to their socket. For the legs, horns, and any projecting parts of the sculpture, especially insect, I use another type of clay and I find it flexible and I can reposition the parts even after baking. I use Sculpey Premo. For the legs and mandibles, I used aluminum wire. I rolled out a very thin sheet of Premo and I start wrapping the mandibles and forming them based on the reference. Make sure that both mandibles have the same proportion. Now we're going to start the legs by cutting out aluminum wires based on the measurement on the reference. Now let's form the legs by wrapping them with a thin sheet of Premo. As you can see, I'm not wrapping the whole legs with the clay because there are some part of the insect based on the reference that is too much slender. So don't worry exposing those aluminum wires because you're going to paint them later on. After done baking all the legs and the mandibles, we're ready for assembly. For the primary coat, I mix alizarin crimson and burnt sienna. I made several coatings until the clay beneath is no longer visible. For the head and the thorax, I'm not using just pure black. I mixed it with a little amount of burnt sienna. And for the wing cases, adding black shades on specific areas. And lighten up again the portion of the wing cases with a mix of alizarin crimson and burnt sienna. And for these mandibles, I use a little bit more reddish of this alizarin crimson and burnt sienna mix. Because not all the part of this beetle is shiny, so I use the matte varnish for the first coat. And finally, I use gloss varnish to the specific area of this beetle. As you can see, all the matte colors of the acrylic comes out to life and your creations become more realistic. And that's it guys. Hope you like my first ever voiceover video tutorial. And I'm still in the process of learning the use of technology and hope next time I can improve my video editing skill. If you have any suggestions or comments, just leave them down below and don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to be notified whenever I upload new videos. Sayonara!